Greetings, programs. This is Wretch. Welcome back to VTM Shadows of New York. And things took an interesting turn in the last episode, guys. Julia is trying to find Agathon, the Tremere apprentice who was under Aisling Sturbridge, and we actually found his journal hidden in his quarters. And using some of her powers, Julia has been able to actually use her blood in this journal, and we're kind of writing in random words and getting kind of an insight into what was going on in Agathon's head. And he's talking to Boss Callahan, too, so this is definitely a pretty potent lead. So, we've got Dream, Destiny, and Death for Agathon. Agathon seemed to be quite taken with the concept of death in his journal, or at least it's something that he mentioned. Let's go ahead and see what this is. Is it fear of death that drove you to contact me?
Don't be ridiculous. I've been ready to die since before you even came out of your mama's womb, boy. No, I fear something worse.
So when you heard about their plot...
Yes, I wasn't afraid it would fail and lead me for final death. I was afraid it would succeed.
God damn it, what are you two talking about? Why did you meet? So we're gonna use, I think we're gonna use the words that were in that poem. It's kind of like a guideline. We just need to endure. I told you what I know, and that should buy us some time. I'll see what else I can find out.
Time? There's no time. We aren't dealing with dumb fucks like you. We have to act like we've already been fucked out and act fast.
Or found.
For all I know, they might have already ordered our deaths.
I'm the High Regent's pupil. I've been her right-hand man for years. There's no way she allowed for me to...
You dumb cock. The moment she sees you as a failed experiment, she's gonna treat you the way she treats all her experiments.
Blood running cold. Ooh. All the scribblings disappear, and another set starts taking their place. The diary conjures an image of a completely different place, and I instantly get a feeling of deja vu. I process the space differently. The atmosphere is different, more familiar, homely, but this is unmistakably the Tremere Chantry I visited earlier tonight. And standing there is just the person I'd expect. Looks like that's it for my meeting with Callahan. God damn it. But what if the person he was talking about and eliciting a strong emotional reaction from was Aisling? The diary awaits my next command. Ooh. Why, when, who? Maybe who? High Regent who? What is this naive shun? I make it a point to have as few strings attached to me as possible. The few I've kept because of the benefits they offer should be obvious to you. I don't feel comfortable being a part of this, at all. I always thought we were busy with science, not politics. These are the words of a child, Agate. Science has always relied on politics, and politics on science. Not like this, High Regent. Don't me, Agathon. Not like this. The moving scribblings disappear again. I hastily let another drop of my blood fall on the page. What appears this time is yet another familiar face. Ah, yes, Agathon. What is it you wanted to tell me? You goddamned rat. I beg your pardon. The harpy vanishes. Yeah, right. As if I could ever gather courage to say this to your face. But least I can do is try and stab you in the back. The diary ends here. I spill a little bit more vitae on the page, but it no longer works. I suppose that's it. Still no idea what happened to Agathon. Is he alive, or is he dead? Oh, we get to choose. Would Agathon be alive or dead now? Well, as much as I would like him to be alive personally, if he's involved in this conspiracy that we saw at the end of Coteries of New York, we saw how easily that group will kill without any hesitation. And that diary was in a lot of ways a last will and testament. So I'm actually tempted to go for, in terms of the story, that Agathon is dead. He probably wrote that as, kind of his final statement on the matter, or you don't write anything like that unless you know that that's the kind of direction that you're going, I would like to think. And especially with Arturo involved in it and Callahan. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say that he's dead. I hope to get proved otherwise, but we'll see. He's dead. There's no doubt about it. There are just too many powerful folks involved, and everything I've seen in the diary felt like a noose tightening around his neck. I choose to believe he's dead because that's the most rational thing to do. I suppose Dakota is right. I'm a glass half empty buzzkill. Okay, what was that trait? Loyal only to myself, glass half empty. I mean, I am following a lot of the La Sombra mannerisms, so I guess I got that going for me. In any case, I think it's time to pay a visit to the art hole. I know Arturo tends to leave the Elysium quite often to take in some fresh air and message people on his BlackBerry, so I just wait until I see him. The tactic works. He's surprised to see me. Miss Winsky, shouldn't you be busy with your investigation? I am, actually. Which is why I've come to see you. That's peculiar, because I'm absolutely sure I have nothing to do with this case. Aren't you barking up the wrong tree? That's what I'm here to find out. I assume you'd want to see I'm thorough. Yes, sure. I suppose it's commendable. What is it, then? I have reason to believe that in the last few months, you, the High Regent Aisling Sturbridge, and her child Agathon were involved in a secretive scheme. His expression changes ever so imperceptibly, but the difference is palpable to me. For the first time ever, he looks at me as a person. Up until now, I was just an amusing diversion. Now I'm something more, and he doesn't like it. And what gave you this idea? I'm not at liberty to say. If you really want to know, ask the sheriff. Of course, Kadir doesn't know anything, but he's the only one in the court that Arturo has repeatedly failed to influence. He'll think twice before approaching him. I fail to see how this matter relates to the task at hand. I have every reason to think Baron Callahan was involved, and that he might have had grounds to fear for his life because of said scheme. He's tense now. Do I have the upper hand? Miss Sawinski, please answer the question. The delicate matter you are speaking of has absolutely nothing to do with Baron Callahan's grim fate. It's a strictly confidential affair. It would be wise of you to stop pursuing it. It would be wise of you to fuck off. I can't be an investigator if I'm not allowed to properly investigate. This matter is unrelated to your work and should be treated as such. I'm 100% convinced Prince Panhard would agree. If you insist on pursuing it further, we can take it up to the prince and see if her stance differs from mine, but I think you aren't as naive as to waste her time this way, and besides, she'd certainly want you to present the basis of your discovery of to the court. Could you handle it? I have no response. God damn it. This is revenge for invoking Kadir, isn't it? I thought so. Is the High Regent inside? She is, but don't worry. I'll make sure to tell her not to waste your precious time, Miss Sawinski. So that's how you're gonna play it, you bastard. Well, I guess you win this round. A strategic retreat is my only choice here. I don't have a full deck of cards yet, but just you wait. In a few nights. I'll take my leave then. Yes, do that. And if I may be so blunt, focus on the investigation avenues that aren't utterly imbecilic and suicidal to pursue, miss. I bid you adieu. I curse him out under my breath as he disappears inside the art hole. Guess this avenue really is cut off for me, at least for now. 3 names left on the list. I still have some leads to go by. But for now, it's getting late. I should go to St. Patrick's and file my latest report. When I reach the cathedral, Father Leonard is already there. He's not exactly the most punctual person, so I always feel relieved to see him from afar. Time to move in and move out before I'm noticed by Benoit. And will this be all? I guess so. I rattled off most of it in a hurry on the way here. I'll come up with a more exhaustive report tomorrow night. Busy? It looks that way, Father. Our wayward girl has finally been recognized by her superiors. Here we go again. Of course he had to sneak up on me. If even you heard about that, I guess that means every single kindred in the 5 boroughs knows. I know you're an expert when it comes to knowing who's saying what and where, but the last time we met, you promised to share that knowledge with me. Yeah, I was kind of lying. That's the 9th commandment broken, Father. Shouldn't you scold her? Don't involve me in your silly games, Benoit. The way you fall for obvious lies stems from your biggest failing in communication. And that is? You only pay attention to the what that's being said, and not the how. That's... Booyah, motherfucker. Suck it. Annihilated with an absolutely flawless diagnosis. Child, don't make me regret siding with you. I'm sorry, Father. Won't happen again, especially if you promise to keep verbally destroying that clown. You're in a strange mood tonight, child. Go get some sleep. Yes, we'll continue this tomorrow. I'm not showing up here tomorrow. Yes, Yar. Stop breaking the 9th commandment. See you around, Julia. He says my name in a sickly sweet way that gives me the creeps. I bow to Father Leonard, do my best to ignore Benoit, and head for Dakota's place. Finally, my haven. Hey. Hey. Another tough night? You don't know the half of it. You want a drink? She points to her neck. I manage to summon a faint smile. I'd love to, but you know we can't do this too often. Maybe tomorrow. You want to talk then? Yeah, guess so. Just not about work, okay? I sit down next to her. Not about work. Got it. What's on your mind then? The past, I guess. Meaning? How spotty our memories are, and how despite that, that's what we build our convictions on. Sorry, it's so banal. I'm just tired and frustrated. Well, let's talk about something more specific then. What do you remember about the first time we met? The time we first met? Yeah. Shit. Not a lot, actually. Those were gloomy, anxious days. I think I subconsciously replaced most of them with blank spaces. I remember you trying to paint your hair black. Ouch. Just don't dig up my trauma now, okay? I remember that when we first talked, we talked about Hausu. Don't say Hausu, it's low-key racist, I think. Nobody ever knows what you mean by house. Ah, that show with the asshole doctor? No, the Japanese haunted house horror film that feels like it was written by a 7-year-old with ADHD. In the best way. In the best way, duh. We were arguing which characters from the movie both of us are. You were Kung Fu, and I ended up as Professor... which was rude. You were dressed up like a total nerd. Not my fault. What was the deal with that suit? I liked that suit. Yeah, it was okay. I remember helping you out with graphic design whenever you needed it. Funny, I remember you needing help with writing as something that tended to happen far more often. Yeah, we developed a fun shared aesthetic with similar surface concerns, and it bonded us together even before we made sure we were fully compatible deep down as human beings. Hell, I'm still not sure we are. Especially now, with me not being a human being anymore. But hey, at least you both agreed that this bedroom feels super comfy. I remember always feeling left out of your social circles. Always knocking at the door from the outside. Oh, forget it. My social circles were full of out-of-touch snobby assholes. Yeah, but it felt weird how much they avoided me. And there was that one time with Isabella. All of a sudden, one thing Isabella said at that one party flashes in my mind with startling clarity. After midnight, in that kitchen, without context, she just walked up to me and... She will isolate you, she will suck you dry, and she'll move on to the next target. That's the only thing she knows. Ugh, don't remind me of Isabella. She always resented me. It's been so long and it's all baseless conjecture now, but what if she really did isolate me on purpose back then? Glass half empty my ass. Something is off here, and that might be a part of it. Can't rule that out, at least. I won't say anything, but it's worth keeping in mind for the future. Being naturally suspicious is a virtue, whatever Dakota says. Let's just carry on as if nothing happened. Yeah, just forget Isabella. Let's just drop this talk. I'm frustrated enough. I need a reset. Sounds like a good idea. Off to sleep? Yeah. Gotta get ready to go back to hell tomorrow. Alright. I'll get back to work. You're working remotely again? Yeah. My office is going insane for so many reasons, and I'm getting cabin fever, too. Get some sun. It'll be good for you. Look who's talking. Good night, sunshine. Good night. The Vampire Diary achievement unlocked. Okay. Well, we need to rest, so let's go ahead and do so. We've got a little bit more time left in the episode. A few minutes after I wake up, I see a message slipped under the apartment's front door. Kadir? Yep. Looks like he's got a short window to meet me in Queens a few hours from now. Willett's point. A single suggestion. Get ready for action. Fine then. I will. Best thing to do it would be to clear my mind. Just walk without thinking. Reset the framework. Some fresh air should do it. Maybe a chance meeting with someone could get me out of this mental rut. Let me look at the world from a different angle for a while and improve my mood. Although when it comes to improving one's mood, nothing beats some crimson red pouring down my throat. Not to mention, these cigarettes taste better with a full stomach. Let's go. Oh. Okay. Oh, God. Oh, I remember her. That was our stalker from Coteries. Okay, let's look at our options here. Hide and seek for dummies. I'm being tailed. The last thing I need right now is a weirdo stalker following my every step. Did I take this investigation too far down the rabbit hole? There's no place like home, and I need a little peace. Big Beat Burger, here I come. But, wait. Who is this loon? That was bad business, I remember, with our Toreador and Coteries. So, let's, see what hide and seek for dummies is all about. I mean, we can get ourselves a snack, though he doesn't look particularly appetizing. I'm sure there are better ways of finding solitude than wandering aimlessly in the endless downpour. There are nights when I dive straight into a thizzed crowd and vicariously enjoy their sweat, their hypnotic moves, and mindless self-indulgence. When my body starts to resonate with the relentless wall of sound, everyone disappears and I'm raptured into a perfect kind of isolation. Then there are those nights when I crash on the couch while Dakota goes on a rant about something so far removed from my area of interest, I zone out and enjoy the privacy of my own thoughts. But then there are moments like this one. Nights when I just want everyone to shut the fuck up so I can think. Those nights I usually end up mindlessly strolling along the rain-swept streets, before inevitably ending up at Big Beat Burger. Or at least, that used to be the norm, before this whole mess. Lately, even that kind of solitude seems out of my reach, especially when I'm being tailed by a poor man's Ethan Hunt on a crash diet. He's been following me for 10 minutes, and so far he's managed to bump into an empty newsstand, make enemies of several cab drivers, and even got bitch-slapped by a living statue while trying to blend in. As he shortens the distance, I grab a nearby lamppost and swing myself around like Gene Kelly, using the momentum to quickly turn around and look right at him. Hell nah. He springs up into the nearest alley. I wonder if he thinks that somehow I did not notice. Make sure he knows you noticed? Let's just keep walking. Fuck that guy. It's not like he'll keep following me after this fiasco. I'm about to walk away when an obnoxious voice, not belonging to the creep, catches my ear. It's coming from the same alley. It's followed by a loud crash from sounds like a metal side of a garbage dumpster, followed by a painful moan. Maybe the stalker got himself in trouble. Oh yeah, we're definitely checking this out. I should let that creep deal with this himself. I should, but I won't. Can't have a moment's rest in this goddamn city, can I? As I barge into the alley, I notice two hooded jocks bullying my scrawny stalker. While the big guy wrestles with a high-tech smartphone, the sleeker one keeps punching. How nice of them to share responsibilities. Okay, so now we don't have a choice. We've got to, we've got to use our powers here. So we could use Oblivion to scare them away, Potence to mess them up with physicality, and then Dominate to turn them against each other. See, out of these three, Dominate is the one that won't mess up won't violate the Masquerade, comparatively to the other two. So, I mean, we could go all Jessica Jones, typical La Sombra shadow powers, but that one can be subtle if you choose to use it as such. So I'm sure we're probably going to get some red edges here, but let's see what happens. The roughneck notices me, drops the phone, and looks into my eyes. Big mistake. He freezes in place as I bore into his mind. Grab the little guy and keep running east as far as you can. The thug stiffens like it's the first time a complex idea has even popped into his head. He turns toward his mortified buddy, grabs him kicking and screaming, and takes off like a cartoon caveman with a kidnapped bride slung over his shoulder. Their struggle seems so comically out of place in this dingy alley. I can't help but chuckle. I pick up the peculiar smartphone on my way over to the stalker. It doesn't take a genius to figure out it belongs to him. The screen is locked and glitches oddly as soon as I touch it. No surprises there. The stalker seems relieved, but at the same time unnerved by the fact I'm holding his property. He tries to exhibit some confidence, but his trembling voice undermines the effort.
Listen, I don't want to sound ungrateful or anything, but I like that back. It's not like you can use it anyway, right?
The nervous smirk on his already punchable face kind of makes me wish that I'd left him to his own devices. I'm of two minds about handing over something I could use to gain leverage over this sleazy asshole who's been stalking me for God knows how long. I'm going to threaten to break the phone. This yours?
Yeah, I'd like it back.
You would, wouldn't you? Here's the deal. You start talking, and I don't crush this thing to pieces.
Give it back, or...
I give the phone a little squeeze and show the slightly deformed case to the pockmarked guy. You were saying?
Oh, okay, you got me. I'm cornered, yeah? So I'll talk. Just throw me the phone, please.
He sounds pretty desperate. Fine. It's not like he's going anywhere without my consent at this point. And if he tries to start some shit, the smartphone goes back into my hands and under my heel. There you go. He catches the phone with the liveliness of a little boy getting his first video game console.
Oh, thanks, Jules. I really appreciate that.
He knows my name and makes a point of bragging about it. Not particularly subtle. Why the fuck are you following me? Are you with the Camarilla? Did somebody tell you to watch my steps? He looks confused when I mention the sect's name. I realize after the fact it was probably a really stupid thing to say to a random creep.
Not sure what a caramella is. Sounds tasty, but my boss, he's an important guy. You want to be on his good side, let me tell you. That said, he doesn't tell me anything I don't need to know, and all I know is he wanted me to keep an eye on you tonight.
Something you're being watched, something powerful friends. That the best you've got?
You're not getting anything else from me. If you want to finish what those alley rats started, go ahead. But you'll be wasting your time, Jules.
The loser seems to brace for a hit, contorting his face into a confusing grimace which was probably meant to express bravado. I'm not going to give him the satisfaction. Fair enough. But you call me Jules again, and this time when you lose your phone, you'll need a proctologist to help you find it.
Kinky, ain't ya? I'll see you later.
You won't, if you know what's good for you. He doesn't respond. As he limps away, I realize that the rain is slowly letting up and that once more I'm left with more questions than answers. And random thing in French. I decide to get on with my night and focus on the relief that comes with realizing I'm not the voyeuristic object of some creep's interest. Been there, done that. Wouldn't recommend. Time to get a move on. Alright guys, looks like we are about to go meet up at Willett Point with Kadir and be ready for action. I have an idea about who that person was with the pockmarks. I think that may be the ghoul to, I forgot the name of that Nosferatu, what was the name of that Nosferatu information? Kaiser! I think his name was Kaiser. And he had, like, the really nice car in Coteries of New York. And I remember that he had... That might have been the same ghoul. Actually, now that I think about it. I wish I had remembered that I could try and do his voice. But, yeah. I think that Kaiser may be watching stuff. So this is all leading back to Coteries of New York. Like, a lot of those threads are starting to come into the story. But, we'll see what Kadir has in store for us in the next episode, guys. I hope you all have enjoyed it. If you liked the episode, please leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, that'd be a big help. And we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.